Most people misunderstand the Bentley Continental GT Convertible, and not in a small way, in a way that completely changes what this car actually is. Because when people see it, they think they already know the story, money, luxury, comfort, a car built to be seen, not to be felt. But that assumption, it couldn't be more wrong. And here's the part you need to pay attention to, because by the end of this video, you're going to realize this car was never built for the reasons most people think. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it, so don't skip. And if you're into cars that go deeper than specs and horsepower, make sure to subscribe and check the links in the description, because we've put together some seriously useful car gear, accessories, and tools that actually upgrade your driving experience, not just random stuff. Things that change how your car feels, how it looks, and how you connect with it. If you care about cars the way we do, you'll want to see that. At first glance, the Continental GT Convertible looks like a statement, but not the kind people think. It's not loud, it's not aggressive, it's not trying to dominate attention. It does something much more subtle. It filters people. The ones who understand it see something completely different. The ones who don't just see a price tag, and that difference, that's exactly what Bentley designed. Because this car was never meant to impress everyone. It was built to resonate with a very specific mindset. And once you start to notice that, everything changes. Because this isn't a sports car, and that's where most people get it wrong. They compare it to cars it was never trying to compete with. Ferrari, Lamborghini, even some Porsche models. Cars that chase speed, cars that demand attention, cars that want to prove something. But the Bentley, it's not proving anything. It already assumes its place. And that changes how it moves, how it sounds, how it makes you feel behind the wheel. It's not asking for validation, it's operating from certainty. And that's something very few machines can replicate. But the real shift happens when you look under the surface, because the W12 engine isn't there for performance alone. That's the easy explanation. The real reason, presence. The way power is delivered, smooth, continuous, uninterrupted, no spikes, no drama, no need to show off. It's power that feels controlled, contained, almost disciplined, and that creates a completely different driving experience. You're not chasing the car is carrying you effortlessly. But here's where things start to feel even more interesting, because this entire philosophy is disappearing. The automotive world is changing fast. Electric cars, hybrid systems, efficiency over emotion, and cars like this, they don't fit into that future easily, which means something most people haven't fully realized yet. This kind of Bentley might not come back. And when that thought settles in, the car starts to feel heavier, not physically, emotionally. But the biggest misunderstanding still hasn't been revealed, because what this car really changes is the driver. But here's where the story takes a turn most people don't expect, because everything we've talked about so far, the design, the engine, the philosophy, that's only what you see. The real difference, it shows up in moments people don't plan for, moments that aren't part of a review, moments that can't be measured, like when you're not driving fast, not trying to impress anyone, just moving through the city at night, streetlights reflecting across the hood, the cabin quiet, almost isolated from everything outside. And for a second, it doesn't feel like you're driving a car. It feels like the world slowed down just for you. Or when you pull up somewhere and people don't react the way you expect. No loud attention, no chaos, just subtle looks, small reactions. The kind of attention that doesn't need to be obvious to be real. And that's when you start to understand something important. This car doesn't attract everyone. It attracts the right people, because the Continental GT Convertible isn't built around performance numbers. It's built around perception, how it's seen, how it's felt, how it changes the atmosphere around it without forcing anything. And that's a very difficult thing to engineer. You can design speed, you can design power, but designing presence, that's something else entirely. And Bentley understands that better than most. That's why nothing about this car feels accidental. The way it moves through traffic, the way it holds its space on the road, even the way it sits still, feels intentional, like it belongs exactly where it is. But here's the part that really changes how you see it, because once you start noticing all of this, you realize something slightly uncomfortable. This car isn't trying to fit into your world. It's asking you to step into its, and not everyone can. Not because of the price, but because of the mindset. Because to really understand this car, you have to slow down. You have to let go of comparison. You have to stop asking what it's better than and start asking what it makes you feel. And that's where most people lose it. They try to measure it. They try to rank it. They try to explain it with logic. But this car doesn't respond to that. It was never designed to, which is exactly why the people who get it really get it, and the people who don't never will. And once that line becomes clear, everything we're about to talk about next starts to make a lot more sense. The moment you spend real time with this car, something shifts. Not in the car, in you. You stop rushing. You stop chasing. You stop trying to turn every drive into something intense, and instead, you start observing. The road becomes something you experience, not something you attack. The air feels different. The sounds feel clearer. Even silence feels intentional. And that's not something most cars can do. Most cars amplify your energy. This one transforms it, and that transformation becomes even stronger inside the cabin, because this interior isn't just luxury, it's control. Everything is where it should be. Everything feels how it should feel. Nothing is excessive. Nothing is missing. It's a space designed to reduce noise, not add to it. And in a world full of distractions, that becomes incredibly powerful. But there's something even deeper happening here, because Bentley made a choice. They didn't turn this into a digital machine. They could have filled it with screens, animations, endless features, but they didn't. They stopped at the point where technology supports the experience without replacing it. And that balance is becoming rare, very rare, which brings us to something people don't like to talk about: the cost. Not the price. That part is obvious. The real cost is what comes after: ownership, maintenance, depreciation. And yet, none of it seems to matter, because the people who buy this car aren't buying numbers. They're buying separation, a different way of moving through the world, a different way of being seen without trying to be seen. And that's a very specific kind of luxury. So who is this actually for? Not someone chasing attention, not someone comparing specs, not someone trying to prove success. This car is for someone who already knows, someone who doesn't need the car to speak loudly, because they don't. It's quiet confidence built into metal, leather, and motion. And once you understand that, you realize something important. This car was never misunderstood by accident. It was designed that way. Because in the end, the Bentley Continental GT Convertible isn't about luxury. It's about identity. It reveals how you see the world, and more importantly, how you want the world to see you. And if you didn't understand it at first, that was the point. Before you leave, take a second, because if this kind of content made you think differently about cars, you're going to want more of this. Hit subscribe, and don't forget to check the links in the description. We've added some of the best car accessories, tools, and lifestyle gear that actually make a difference, not just visually, but in how you experience driving every day, things that bring you closer to this feeling. And every time you check them out, you're directly supporting the channel, which means we can keep making videos like this. Deeper stories, better cars, stronger perspectives, and trust me, the next one is going even further. Stay curious, because most people still don't see it.